Welcome to Kingdom Healing, and I'm your host, Terri Southard. We have been talking about how sin affects your healing. In the last video that I did, we talked about the lame man at the pool that had been there for he'd been lame for 38 years and been laying by the pool for an angel to come and stir it up so he could get in and get healed, but he never could get there, and Jesus healed him. There's really an important part of this that I'm trying to share with you. Because, see, I know you're thinking, this is all a little nutty. I mean, I know you are, because this is what people tell me. And when I first started studying the Word, it was so contrary, the Word, to what the world says. I mean, I went to nursing school when I was in my 20s, RN school, down at Bradsport College. And I learned all about medicine, and I worked at a pharmacy. And then I started taking herbs and got into all that for health. You know, I was always about health and people being sick. And so when I started reading the Word, it was so different than what I was hearing. But I had already made my mind up. Whatever I read, I was going to believe and I was going to do. So as I started reading all the healing scriptures, and I didn't see any time that Jesus said, go to the doctor. I never saw it. Never did he say, take this medication. I never saw it. And at one point I came to the point where I was just like, oh my gosh, I mean, this is so totally different. But I had made my mind up. Whatever I read, I would believe. So you're sitting there, you know, probably going, well, that's what she believes. But let me tell you something. I've had the opportunity to use the Word to pray over people who had life-threatening sicknesses and illnesses and cancers and diseases and situations, and God healed them just like that. Not me, God did. Because remember, even though we're the vessels and we're God's children, God's power flows through us. Yes, we have power that comes from the Holy Spirit being with us. The Holy Spirit is the power. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that a little bit further down, okay? But it's the power. God's children are not powerless. We're not powerless. People have this conception that if you're a Christian, that you're meek and that it's okay for people to run all over you, and I'm not saying they don't. But the word meek actually means controlled power. That's what it means. Controlled power. So the Holy Spirit that's with us is the power. Okay? And as we go along and we mature in the Word, we learn how to control our mouth, our actions, our thoughts, which is what it's really all about. That's what this is all about. This is a how-to book. So as you start experiencing more and more of this, you start learning. This is how Jesus healed. And at the end of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and throughout the whole Bible, it says in there, Jesus tells us to go preach the gospel. And he calls it good news. And it is good news, to share it. And he doesn't want us sick, except for those couple examples that I showed you. He doesn't want us sick. So what we've been touching on, we did unforgiveness. We've been touching on different parts of sin. And now this part of sin that I want to show you to you is really powerful. Just like I said, we just finished talking about the lame man laying by the pool that Jesus healed. Okay, so if you're in John chapter 5, go to verse 14, okay? And I'm going to read it to you. It says, afterward Jesus findeth him, the lame man, that's not lame anymore, in the temple, and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you. Okay? I read that and I went, wow. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you. Meaning, if you go back into the sin you were in, or you continue or start sinning again after you've been healed, your spiritual doors are open. The demons will come back on you, and it will be worse. Because he says, lest a worse thing come upon you.